Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about Republicans, the Internet, social media, and what a lot of Republicans are really concerned with right now, particularly some of those in the House. Because for a while I've been saying that Republicans are leaning into social media. They're confusing social media engagement with votes. They're really just out there to provoke outrage in hopes that it elevates their profile. And I had somebody send me a message saying, hey, you always say that, but you don't give any evidence. I'm willing to bet that anytime I've said that, the topic kind of made itself evident. But since the question was asked, let's go through it. Marjorie Taylor Greene introduced this little provision. The purpose of it is to make sure that the Secretary of Defense gets paid $1, $1 a year, to reduce the salary to that. Not a joke, I'm going to read it. None of the funds made available by this act may be used to pay Defense Secretary Lloyd James Austin III a salary that exceeds $1. Okay. First, why? Why would this be introduced? Because according to Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Defense Secretary, well, he's destroying the military. Austin has more than 40 years in the military. Marjorie Taylor Greene just hopefully figured out that space lasers weren't a thing. So I don't know that legislation really matters, and her opinion on this is really one that should be considered that heavily. But here's the other thing. This was put out there. This is the provision. Do you think that it's going to become law? Contrary to what a lot of people pretend, just because something makes it through in the House doesn't mean that it becomes law. For a bunch of people who like to swear they love the Constitution, they have a real hard time following basic civics. If it makes it out of the House, it's got to pass the Senate. A Senate that confirmed Austin. Well, I want to say 93 voted in favor. I feel like they don't want him paid $1. Just saying. And then even if something wild was to happen there, then Biden would have to sign off on it. So what is this? It has zero chance of becoming law. Has zero chance of being implemented. So why do it? To send a message? What's the message? That Marjorie Taylor Greene thinks she knows more about the military than the 40-year-plus veteran who's the current Secretary of Defense. Is that the message? Or is it something that is just so out there that it's going to provoke social media engagement? It's going to generate outrage. Outrage that they believe transfers into votes. It's not simple. There have been a number of pieces of legislation that originated in the House that are like this. Zero chance of ever actually going anywhere. But they can use that on social media to walk out there and say, hey, I introduced this today because we're going to stop them from making the military woke. You should be mad about that. That's what it's about. There's no way this is going to occur. It's also worth remembering, for those who may not understand this, the reason that a lot of high-ranking people in the military are paid very well, or people who are in sensitive positions are paid very well, is because it makes them harder to buy. This is somebody that would have access to a whole lot of sensitive information. You don't want them in financial trouble because, they may try to solve that problem, right? You don't want to give them a motive. That would be ridiculous. But speaking of financial trouble, I would like to point out once again that this is what's going on while the country is watching the clock, as millions of Americans are about to have financial difficulty because rather than getting a budget together, this is what they're playing with. This is what they're doing for social media clicks. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.